Hey, good morning, Lakers. Dr. B here and some student council members. I know you're probably a little excited and maybe a little apprehensive about the start of school, so student council contacted me and said, hey, would you be willing to answer some questions and maybe help ease some people's concerns and just help us figure out what's going to happen when we all come back after a 6-month hiatus. So that's what we're going to do here today, is we're going to try and answer a few questions and hopefully get you excited about the start of the school here in the next week. I know one of the first questions people are going to ask is, when do I have to show up? Well, this week for orientation on Thursday and Friday is only freshmen on Thursday and Friday. Group A on Thursday, Group B on Friday. So you go through your schedules and get a feel for the building. And then on the opposite days, there was an email that went out where the link crew leaders are going to have you log in and do a link crew piece. Everybody else, 10 through 12, I'm going to ask you to check your Schoology sites just to see that you can get in and see if your teachers have left you a message. But 10 through 12, really classes start the following week on Monday the 14th for A group, B group on Tuesday. But as always on Mondays, you're going to check your Schoology page to see what the layout is for the week.
If you're doing distance learning, do you have to log into your classes at specific times of the day?
Good question. I've had that a lot. Here's basically how things are going to work. Let's say you've got hybrid kids in A and B, and then you have distance learning kids in class. So let's say it was an A day. Let's say a teacher on Monday puts out their schedule for the week, and they say, hey, I'm going to have lessons that I want you to watch. I'm going to do a video piece on they might say Monday and Tuesday, they might say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you might have the A group in person, the B group will watch, and the distance learning kids will watch as well. I doubt that you would sit there a whole 60 minutes in that class, but there is an expectation that the teachers are going to publish on Monday what it is, when they're going to have the synchronous or live pieces. So you would look and plan out your week and go, hey, I know I got to be live on this time, this time, and this time, and you can kind of plan your day accordingly for your distance kid.
So I know we have to wear masks this year. What are the requirements for masks?
Very important question. Yes, we do have to wear masks. We're not wearing them now because we're 6 feet apart and we're public speaking, so that is one of our exemptions if you're doing something. But for the most part, everybody will be wearing a mask in the building. And actually, when you come here that first day, there will be a video on health and safety tips for the school, and one of them will talk about masks and the requirement that you do need to be wearing a mask at all times. Obviously, you can take it off to get a drink of water. You're going to be taking them off at lunch, but we're not going to be playing any games with masks. Masks are going to be required. It's just going to make staff, students, parents, everybody put us a little bit more at ease. And we just got to take the precautions because everybody, I believe, wants to get back in school. And once we're back, we want to stay here. So masks will be required.
Will the hybrid and distance learning kids be logging into the same classes as the in-person kids?
Yep, good question. Again, the teachers are going to lay out the plan for the week. But in classes, the teacher's list is going to show A group students, B group students that are hybrid AB, and it's going to show their distance learning kids. So if they're teaching a lesson, there are going to be a lot of times when they're going to be teaching a lesson and they may be broadcasting that out or recording it so that the other kids can watch it as well. So yes, that will be going on, and that's one of the strengths of our distance learning pieces. It's still our teachers teaching our kids instead of farming that out in another way.
How will band, choir, and fire classes work this year?
Well, we've been putting a lot of thought into that. Obviously, they're not your typical classroom spots where you're sitting in class. So all those classes have state, national organizations that give recommendations. So I know FIAD's going to try and be outside as much as possible. We do have this new field house with a lot of space to spread people out. Band and choir are going to work to spread out as well. They may be going outside at times, they may be going into the auditorium, but they're following protocols as well. So they're going to try and spread out, use space, use extra social distancing and all that, and use the outdoors as long as we can, as long as the weather's nice. So we're looking at all that. And band, I know band for sure has been having summer band lessons, and that's been going very well. So again, we're just trying to be very vigilant, trying to think of what's best practice, how to space things out. So we're going to have those classes. They just might look a little different or be in different spaces than normal.
How will Prior Lake High School be maintaining safe procedures?
Well, we're following the Minnesota state guidelines from the Minnesota Department of Health and Minnesota Department of Education. There's all sorts of protocols like cleaning. We've got products that are safe to use around students during the day, and the custodians will be cleaning every night. They've got a protocol and lists and things that they've got to wash and clean. And we have disinfectant as well in between classes that teachers will spray on desks and let sit, and students can make sure and wipe, just dry their desk when they come in so they'll know that it had been cleaned. So, we've got all those procedures in place. We're also showing a training video. The first thing we're going to do when students get in here that first day of school is watch a training video on, just how to walk in the halls, on the right side, making sure you wear your mask appropriately, all those things, and how to self-report, how to check yourself in the morning for symptoms, how to go down to the nurse's office if you're, questioning if you're feeling well and all that. So all those things hopefully will get answered in that video, and I believe there's going to be one going out to parents this week as well that's going to talk about those same procedures. So again, we're taking extra precautions, and again, we'll make sure everybody's wearing their mask as well. And the state is also providing a mask for each student. You should show up with a mask on, but we will have a distribution. And if somebody forgets it or something happens to their mask during the day, we'll have one that kids can wear, because that's a non-negotiable. Everybody's going to be, staff and students is going to be wearing a mask.
So how will lunches and passing time look?
Well, that's probably what gives me the most heartburn of this whole process. Passing time, I believe, will be okay. We're going to, if you look on the floors here, we've got red dots all over the floor, kind of traffic flow patterns. Those are going to be replaced this week with arrows and school colors that kind of show you, kind of like the rules of the road stay on the right. And we're going to ask kids as they're going to class to just kind of walk and talk, not, how we usually like to congregate. We're going to say, hey, guys, just keep moving and walk and talk to your classes. So the gold standard is being 6 feet apart for less than 15 minutes. So we can keep that in place. Things are good. Even if somebody does get sick, they're not close enough to infect someone else. That's what they're saying the guidelines are. The piece of lunch, we're still, again, I said that gives me the most heartburn because we have a whole new lunch room. Our kitchen's been redone and all that, so everybody is going to have to wonder how the heck to go through that. So we're going to have to, I'm going to have to put out another little video or some sort of instructions right up to the day of school starting for lunch, just so that we get the flow down. But we have half the number of students in the building, so our lunches that are normally about 500-600 kids at a time will be down to under 300. So we'll just have to make sure we space out, and then the lunchroom tables are going to be spread out no more than 2 at a lunchroom table, about 6 feet apart. We have a few bigger tables that might be able to get 3 or 4, but again, we're going to require that people are spread out, probably from the east side of the cafeteria all the way to the west side of the cafeteria. We're going to need every ounce of space to make sure that people have that 6 foot cushion. Hey, one more piece on lunch. I know I've gotten some questions. We're not an open campus, so you can't just pick up and go wherever. I am looking at an option of using the front apron outside the student entrance on nice days for kids to sit out there and eat lunch. It's, we'll have to figure that out. And if we do that, you got to still make sure the big thing is to maintain that 6 feet of space between each other.
Can we still bring a water bottle to school and use the drinking fountains?
Yes, but I'll say, yes, you can use a water bottle. And the water bottle fill stations will be open, but the drinking fountain portion will be shut off. So actually, if you do want to get a drink, it would be wise to have a water bottle with you.
Are we going to be able to use lockers this year, or can we request one?
Good question. At this time, there aren't going to be no lockers issued at the start of the year. We just don't want to be, those are places where people congregate and house things, so we're not going to have lockers in the hallways, and we're not going to have lockers in FIAD classes either. Now, you are going to be able to change in FIAD if you would like to bring a gym bag. Treat it like a health club, where you bring your clothes with you, go in the locker room, change, put your clothes in your gym bag, and then take your gym clothes with you at the end of class. So again, no lockers will be issued for the start of the year.
And will Picture Day happen?
Picture Day will happen at the end of September. I don't know if it's the last week, but we'll get information out. But we just didn't want to do it the first, before the start of school or the first week of school. We want to try to minimize as much confusion as possible. So we want to get our day down, get our routine down, and then a couple weeks in, we'll have the picture people come in and we'll call people down and we'll socially distance and we'll get your smiling faces on camera.
Are seniors still able to take the ACT, and when does that happen this year?
Sure, because we never want to miss an opportunity to test you. All seniors are going to take the ACT or have the opportunity to on October 6th, which is a Tuesday. You were supposed to take it last spring, but we all know that that got messed up. So October 6th is the ACT for all seniors. And on that day, the other students will be distance learning.
Are distance learning kids still able to come to school and meet the teachers and get extra help?
Good question. We would push that distance learning kids get help online because we believe that a reason that many people are using distance or are choosing distance is because they do not want to be exposed or be in the building around other people. So we're going to ask that that help is done virtually, and on Wednesdays, most of Wednesday is dedicated to distance learning. Kids aren't in the building, so teachers will be able to reach out and help. They'll be able to help on other days as well, but our first go-to is to get help online because we don't want to have extra kids coming into the building. We're trying to keep that 6-foot barrier and just trying to keep things, as tight as possible. So, but if there's a special circumstance, you can contact and the teacher will work with me and work something.
What's the deal with Wednesdays?
Now, Wednesday is a distance learning day for all students, so teachers wouldn't be doing any new live instruction, but there would still be, you may still have an assignment that you're working on. The idea is that teachers are going to use that time to connect with kids that need extra help. So they might be, you might have an appointment if you're a distance learning kid, hey, I need some extra time with my teacher, or even an A and B kid, I just need some extra time that I haven't been able to get. So a teacher will probably have some office hours or some help sessions if there's multiple kids that they would post, and they would be working with kids on getting some extra help. But there's still the expectation that is a student learning day, so you may have had a project that's due the end of the week, and some of that work time, the teacher might just be saying, okay, I know they have Wednesday to be able to work on that. So it's not a day off, but it shouldn't be any new, if you're up to date, you shouldn't have to log in and do something. The logging in and doing something would be as if you needed extra help. Hey, I hope this helped. I'm glad Student Council had this idea to ask some clarifying questions. I look forward to seeing the freshmen, A group on Thursday, B group on Friday. Upperclassmen, remember to check your Schoology on Thursday and Friday just to see that you can get in and see a welcome from your teacher. They might have a little greeting and maybe even a little instructions that they might give you. But we'll see everybody on the 14th. That's everybody 9 through 12 on Monday the 14th, A group, B group on the 15th. But everybody should be checking their Schoology page on that Monday so that they know what the layout for the week is. So I've got nothing else, so I'd like to leave you with, hey, as always, have a great Laker Day.